What is he?
What were you gonna say?
I meant what's up, but I don't know where the heck that came from. What is it?
Sounded like you were gonna say what's eating or something like that.
What are we eating tonight? Golly. What is up, Geeky Saying Army? It's Kanan.
It's Jessie.
And we are the Geeky Saying Couple. And welcome to our RWBY Volume 8, Chapter 6 analysis. Before we get started, we're going to try and do this at the beginning of every video if I remember to. Because like I said, this is something new. Something I'm not used to doing. But we want to thank our Patreons. Nicholas and Benjamin, thank you guys for your continued support. Also, there was one subscriber that I wanted to give a shout out to, plus one Twitter follower. The subscriber, I believe, if I mispronounce this, I'm really sorry, is that Rami 182. They have been very, very supportive in the comments section. They tell us each and every time we post a video how much they enjoy it, even if it's something they're not really into, like on our Mass Effect and Dragon Age video. They commented on it and just they love our video. So thank you very much for your continued support. And on Twitter, I want to shout out Joey. He has been trying to pretty much get us more support, more subs, and all that, and even told me that they want to see our dream become a reality. So thank you very much for your continued support, and we hope you all decide to keep on supporting us in the future as we continue to our very first big goal, which is 1,000 subscribers. Though I think we're going to have like a New Year's resolution of hitting at least 500 before 2021's over with. But hey, if we start knocking on 1,000's door, that'll be some good stuff. Hopefully. Okay, so this episode is basically a Cinder episode. So for years, and I mean for years, like even since like the volume 1, 2, and 3 days, people have been asking for Cinder's backstory. And one of the biggest complaints people have had about Cinder is that we didn't know her story. We had no idea really why she was in the situation she was in. Why does she lust for power so much? Why is she doing what she's doing? And a lot of people were giving RWBY criticism because we never knew. But I always say when it comes to RWBY, there's a reason why they make us wait, because it's not the right time in the story for that to happen. And there's a reason why in this episode that I think is why they waited till Atlas to finally give us this. So the episode opens with Cinder cleaning the floor, which is something we saw at the beginning of chapter 1. And, well, I don't think I'm going to be able to catch it, but there is like a point where a droplet of water drops into this from a tear, and it kind of, sad music. That kind of that's pretty much be like, hello, this is what kind of episode this is going to be. So yeah, Cinder is.
You almost caught the
Yeah,
tear.
I almost did. There it is. It's at the very top of the screen. A tear does drop from Cinder into the wash here, and there's Cinder scrubbing away. God, could you imagine cleaning floors this way? Because look at that. That's a lot of floor. Where's the little talking mice when you need them? So we get a glimpse of this. It looks like a barn. And apparently this is an orphanage, pretty much. Because this is where Cinder used to be. I noticed these trucks back here. I hope they don't bring the kids in on trucks. That would be awful. Hopefully it's like for food deliveries or something. We can't. Okay, so
it looks like an orphanage based on a farm, so
it might be. They
may have to do work.
Yeah,
and that's probably what takes the stuff out.
Yeah. I don't know why I even thought of that. Heck, I've lived in the country my whole life, so you would think I would know stuff like that. It's late and my head's wanting to hurt, so back off. Okay. So we see here, see if I can stop on it. Oh, come on. Right, there. We finally get a full close-up glimpse of young Cinder. And it's like, was that apron always part of her wardrobe back in the day? But she obviously did not have a nice upbringing. You got these two boys who are picking on her. I love how Rooster Teeth put their did a little
their symbol.
There. There's a little Rooster Teeth shadow here. There's no teeth, but there's at least a rooster. I'm wondering if there's this is what happens when you analyze these videos. You wonder if every little thing has a reason. Like, is there a reason why it's pointing north? Probably not. But so yeah, we just get this little glimpse of Cinder's, like, gosh, look at the bags under her eyes. She's got these little scars on her face. Like, this episode made you do one thing. It made you feel sorry for Cinder. It really does. Like, big time. And we see that this is a really it's really funny to pause this right in mid scene. It just looks so goofy. But she does try to fight back, but 2 against 1 is never fair. Oh, that's a girl. I didn't realize that in the episode. I think that's a girl. I mean, it looks like a skirt.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was just well, anyway, the scene happens so fast you can't really tell. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying not to laugh at Cinder in this picture, because just when characters are in mid-flight like this, it's funny, okay? Don't judge me. So here we get these, she's got legs. Okay. I don't know. I'm a little loopy. I've not been drinking or anything, I promise. It's just late. This is the first glimpse of the evil stepmother, though we don't know it right now. And, of course, it says, I'll take her. Now, okay, so Cinder ends up at this, it's pretty much a hotel.
Yeah, I can't read. You can see the name of it, but I can't read it. It's too...
Hold up. I almost want to say that first letter's glass. No way it's called Glass Slipper or something, but I don't think that's an S for the other word. I can't tell. We'll have to look at a clearer screenshot of this.
I can't read the cursive. It's too fancy.
I'm sure, I bet you anything it's a Cinderella reference. It has to be. But anyway, what is interesting about where this place is located, this is Atlas.
It is.
Yes. And what did Cinder say in Volume 7 to Winter about all you Atlas Elite taking what you want and I refuse to starve?
Yeah.
So this
makes sense.
Yes, this episode gives that line so much more weight. So I'm sorry. Young Cinder is adorable. She really is. Like, I feel so bad for her. Like, I want her to be happy. I know that's sad to say based on what we know, but I'll get to once we get to the end of this whole backstory, I'll explain why I feel so bad for her. I love that she's wearing like little short pigtails. Anyway, she invites her in, and she like steals herself, then goes in, and it's a very luxurious motel. Very Atlesian. And I don't get the purpose of the Grimm statues. You wouldn't think that'd be a great aesthetic for a motel.
There's people that have, like...
weird taste.
Monsters and stuff as statues.
Well,
so,
yeah, that's right.
Like...
Yeah, but in this world, these monsters actually exist and they can kill you. But, yeah, like, she's all wide-eyed and bushy-tailed, pretty much. Like, she's not used to this kind of... You can tell she's not used to this kind of, the hierarchy of, boy, I butchered that word, of society. I'm getting tongue-tied. And, we got a girl getting drunk, just people lounging around, talking and all that. And here we see the evil stepmother and the stepsisters. So yes, we knew it from the beginning, but they went full Cinderella with this backstory. Like, there's no ands, ifs, or buts. Emphasis on the buts. I don't know where that came from. And a lot of people say that the one with the curly hair, her hair looks like a wig, and they want to rip it off. I saw someone comment that on Twitter.
Well, because the way the curls are drawn, I can see why people would think that, because a lot of anime-styled, really curled wigs are like that.
But look at these two prudes. Could you be any more prudish? It's just like, it's those types of people who just look down on you like you're supposed to carry their throw up bucket for them or something, you know? It's like, and if you ain't willing to carry that bucket, they don't want nothing to do with you. And I don't know, they disgust me. These two I was disgusted the moment I saw them. I was like, you two Barbie looking. Okay, I'm done. I'm really angered by this episode because I can't help it. She's just so, at this point in her life, she's so innocent. And she sees this food and like she's starving. And, you know, the first thing is, you know, you're to make sure the laundry's folded, the dishes are done. You know, it's just like, do the fire, do the, you know, Cinderella, all that stuff. I'm sorry. I am pissed off at these people.
How did you ever make it through Cinderella then?
I've only seen Cinderella once in my life, and that's why I had to make it through Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep for the Cinderella world once again. I was like, you're putting me through it again.
You wouldn't like Ever After then. It's more of the darker.
Yeah, but I think
in the real life stuff.
I think what bothers me most about this Cinderella story is how it ends. At least in almost every version of Cinderella, things end up okay. Even in the very messed up original version. You know, dishes are spotless, the floors are clean enough to eat off of. I'm sorry, I don't care how clean that floor is. I'm not eating off of it. I ain't no dog. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just full of it tonight. This episode just angered me in a lot of ways. I didn't show it in the reaction, but after I sat around and like thought on it, and look, she just says food like as a question. It's like she's not eaten in like forever, and they laugh at her.
The one laughs, the other one looks at her like, "Are you serious?"
I just want to. Oh. And even the stepmother is like, really? You want food? And she tosses the bread and now hurry and get to your chore. She throws the bread onto the floor and the floor.
They look filthy.
Yeah, and I see if I can catch it here. She freaking smirks as she says it. You bitch. I'm sorry. I humbly apologize for that. We're going to edit that out. Starting to sound like BHD here. We're going to edit that out. And look, they just continue to laugh as this poor girl is eating bread off the floor. Okay. And so here we hear a new song, and it is full on Cinderella. Like, it is a sad, like, as I was listening to it, Casey is singing, and the lyrics are like, chores, dude. And I'm like, oh my God, it is a sad and depressing version of the Cinderella song in a way. It's like just I don't know what is up with RWBY and always making us sympathize with the villains, except Adam, Tyrion, and Watts. None of us sympathized with them, but you know, Salem, Cinder now, Emerald, maybe even Neo a little bit if you know her full story, like through that song they did and all that. Like, it's like these characters are perfect examples of like evil isn't born, it's created. And it's just like if they just had if fate had just been a little bit more kinder, would they have ended up differently? You know, and that's what makes it heartbreaking in a way. The only reason why, like, with Adam, yeah, he never had a chance because of what he was done, but the thing is, he never attempted to better his life.
No, he wanted everybody to suffer.
But with Cinder, yes, she's done awful things. She killed Pyrrha. She almost killed Weiss. But in this episode, I don't know, like, we've learned a whole new side of Cinder where it's like, I don't know. Let me think on that a little bit. I'll hopefully have it thought up of once we get toward the end of this backstory. But, just look at her. Her face is marked up, but she's trying to remain strong. And, you know, she goes about doing her chores. And even the freaking guests are assholes. Like, this guy slams the door in her face. She brought you your food. See, I'm sorry. Like, when it comes to people who work in retail or in service like this and people are just asses to them, it makes me absolutely mad because they do it because they think they can. You know, oh, you work in retail, or you're just a maid. Park. Or yeah, or amusement parks. You know, you've got to cater to my needs. I'm sorry. The customer is not always right.
Especially when it comes to, like, just safety and, like, common courtesy to somebody. I mean,
and like,
I dealt with a lot of stuff like that at Dollywood.
And, like, she's dressing this cake, and all she wants is to try a strawberry, and the stepsister slaps her hands like, nope. Now, I will admit, I kind of love this little part right here where she walks away with the tray and passes it off, and, no, like, she doesn't pass it off. Like, she dips it so the other sister can get a strawberry. It's very Disney-like, the animation.
Yeah.
It really is. And she eats the strawberry right in front of Cinder. I wish that strawberry was sour. Or she choked on it. Well, anyway.
They keep focusing on that. At the beginning, I didn't realize they kept focusing on that necklace.
Yeah. And look at this. She is eating the scraps left over from the guest's meal. She is that hungry. I refuse to starve. And the sad thing is there's people like this in reality that are treated like this, and it's not right. It's not right at all. Especially when you learn how old Cinder is at this point, which we learn later in this episode. You know, she's cleaning the statue. Those towels, they're just towels, but they look really heavy. Like, what the heck do Atlas people put in their linens? Like, my gosh. And she's, you know, I don't even like unplugging the toilet. So, I mean, I know as many toilets as this hotel's got. I'm sure she's had to do a lot. The whole freaking place is a toilet. What am I kidding? I'm sorry.
Continue, please.
I'm just disgusted. And the poor thing trips and falls and breaks everything. And okay, so in your job, if you fall and break something, I can understand maybe being reprimanded, like given a warning or something. Oh no. And this dude, he noticed what's going on and he just looks away. Oh, more on him later. And here she is still. Now here she's starting. This is the beginning, I believe, of Cinder's true anger. Because she looks way more angry and intense here while she's scrubbing the floor. And let's see. Like, you can see this whole wet spot here where she's been, you know, you can see how much headway she's made. And it's not a lot. But I can imagine trying to clean up carpet that way is probably really, really hard. And she notices this huntsman, you know, showing off his sword to these guests. And, you know,
one of the guests is the one that slammed the door in her face.
Yeah. That's either on purpose or it was a reused model.
Well, it's because the guest is staying there. It was probably another huntsman.
I'm just wondering, how long do these people stay at this hotel? Because you get the sense that a lot of time is going by. And look at the smile that could have been protected. Sadly, you know, like, I'm sorry. I'm just heartbroken by this whole story. And to make things worse, these wastes, why? What do people get out of this? It just, you missed the spot. And I was hoping she was going to go off on them here, like it looked like she was going to, but she uses her semblance and throws down the brush, which is heated, and it causes pretty much a steam explosion. And it's like, she can use her like, we don't know if she could already use it or if this was her unlocking it, but
maybe in the start of her unlocking it, because
I'd have burnt the place down.
That's because anger can do stuff like that.
And, once again, this dude notices what's going on, and she's zapping her with pretty much a dog collar. I am sorry. I did not show it in the reaction. Like I said, I had to sit and think about this. This is disgusting. I don't like shock collars on dogs, because I just think putting a shock collar on a dog is just barbaric, and it just disgusts me. And here they've got it on this poor girl who has been tormented her whole life. And yes, like I said, I know Cinder is a villain. I know she's done awful things, but this backstory just makes you realize that she never had a chance. So yeah, to the point where she falls to her knees, and that wasn't very ladylike, was it? Oh, shut up. I suggest you remember your place, and just keeps on shocking her. And then she says, "Say it, without you, I am nothing." The same thing she says to Salem. And it's like, oh my gosh. So it makes you wonder, is Salem also the evil stepmother? In some ways, she maybe could be seen as a corrupted fairy godmother, because she gave Cinder a new life. I don't know. But it just,
She kind of fits the role of both.
Yeah, she kind of does. Alright, so this huntsman, whose name is Rhodes, and I'm wondering if there's a character in Cinderella's story that he could be based off of. Maybe not in the Disney version, maybe in the original story. We're going to do a Cinder and Cinderella fairy tale theory video, not this week, but next week. So we'll do our research on that and see if there's any character that Rhodes could be directly based off of. So yeah, someone took his sword. And the stepsister is apologizing. We'll help you look. Cinder took the guy's sword. So at this point, is she already planning on killing her stepmother and stepsisters? Or is she just wanting to see it? Just wanting to, play with it, sadly, it's kind of hinted it's the latter because of what's said here in a minute.
I'm pretty sure it's to free herself.
Yeah. So one thing I definitely noticed in the reaction, this sword is shaped the same way that when she makes her sword using her semblance, it's the same shape. So of course he catches her and she throws the thing. First instinct, she long darts it at him. Luckily he's got two other weapons that are like these clubs, and he shows her he doesn't plan to hurt her because he throws his weapons down on the ground, and she picks up one of his clubs and she still attacks him. And he's got a really cool semblance. He can
coat himself in metal.
Yeah, it's wild. Says, "I've seen you around. I think it's safe to say that you're not getting the most fair treatment." And he says he can't blame her for what she's saying. So yeah, this kind of shows that maybe she was planning on not doing something so nice with that sword. But he says, but hurting them isn't going to make your life any better. Which, yeah, murder is never, maybe in self-defense, but just killing someone without provocation, it's hard to say, because she is very much being abused to the point of being tortured. It's hard to say. That's a gray area.
All it would take is to cause, she would have just needed to cause something and run away.
Yeah.
I get that would put her back and have nothing, but she'd be away from them. I mean,
says you can run, but that's all you would ever do, or you can find another way to handle it. And she says, like you, and she starts crying. You can do whatever you want. You can go wherever you want. He asks her how old she is, and this is what she is: 10 years old. And being done this way. Like, I'm sorry. Like I said, I know she's a villain. She killed Pyrrha. All that, yeah, I know. But 10-year-old kid. Like, really. It's not right. And we learn here that her original plan was to be a huntress. Cinder wanted to be a huntress because of the freedom that it would give her. Which is heartbreaking, because I think if she had went another road, Cinder would have made a good huntress, probably. And so, he says it gives us about 7 years, and she asks for what, and he's pretty much going to train her for the huntress exam. And so we get some more nice music of, it's pretty much him training her. He starts her off with just hand-to-hand combat. Which, usually when you do start to learn how to fight, especially if it's going to be a discipline that involves weapons, they always start you off hand-to-hand.
That's how I started in my martial arts classes. You started with hand-to-hand before they taught us how to disarm anything other than someone's hands coming at you. Mm-hmm.
But then we learn pretty quickly that, this is a nice little, teacher-student moment. He pats her on the head. And so, it shows pretty much him going on missions, probably, and she looks kind of annoyed right here.
She's doing chores. So.
Yeah, and then, him coming back and her looking all happy and all that. And then she graduates to practicing with wooden weapons, which, makes sense. Unarmed.
That's the next step. What we did, too, is you move up to wooden before you go to, anything of a harder material than wood.
And he's also, he's teaching her in his style of fighting, using two weapons at the same time, which Cinder has shown in the past that she is very proficient in fighting with 2 swords. And, more chores. And, I feel so bad for her. She's dusting this statue, and she's like, look, does it look okay? And then the very next scene is her getting shocked again. It's like, what the heck, woman? What is your deal? I almost want to feed that thing to her. And then that would actually, her swallowing that wouldn't do anything.
Feed her the shock collar.
Yeah, the shock collar. And then push the button. And, it's just more of him leaving. And then 10-year-old Cinder walks into the room and an older Cinder walks out. So I'm guessing...
It's probably been a couple years.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely been a couple of years.
I think he says how much longer they have.
I think he says he just says a few years. You gotta be 17, I think, to take the exam. So I'd say, God, by this time maybe 14, 15, maybe. So she's been there for a while, and that means around this time she was the same age as Ruby was at the beginning of Volume 1. So my biggest problem with this guy is it seems like he cares, but he's really not doing anything else to help her. He's training her, yes, but he can't take her because he'd be a fugitive. He'd be charged with kidnapping and stealing because, I'm sure this woman sees Cinder as her property and, not as her kid or anything. But you just think this guy could have tried to do more instead of being, I don't know. It's kind of a gray area.
If she ran away, he could have helped her do something.
Yeah, and now here, he gives her, it's not his sword. It's a sword that looks exactly like the one he uses. He pretty much had her a sword made and gives it to her. And I believe it's right here that he says, just a few more years, and you won't need your guardian's permission. So I'm guessing if you're underage, which under the age of 17 in Ruby's world, you have to get permission from your parent or guardian to take a huntress or a huntsman exam if you don't meet the legal age. I'm guessing it's kind of like a permit to drive. He says you'll be free. And, he's got his sword. So that's kind of sweet. He had her one made. But sadly, fate decided to deal Cinder another sad hand. She says, come quick, it's Cinder. She has a weapon. Now, a lot of people are wondering, are they the ones who named her Cinder? Like, was that really her name? Because remember, Raven made a joke, oh, Cinder Fall. That's probably, she made fun of Cinder pretty much because she said it sounds like you came up with that name yourself. So who knows? Cinder may have named herself.
Maybe it was her last name.
Yeah, you never know. It'd be funny if her last name was Rella. Bad joke. Well, we're going to edit that out. Anyway, so clock ticking. Now, you got to remember, the name of this episode is Midnight. And time is a very important element in Cinderella. And as we look, the clock is close to midnight. At the stroke of 12, the spell will be broken. So it's a little bit of a Cinderella theme there. So he shows back up. Nobody's there. Like, nobody. There's no guests milling around. No nothing. And he hears a crashing sound. The clock is still ticking. Now this also pisses me off. We do not serve Faunus. This woman is just... Anyway, he comes in and the stepsisters are dead with a capital D. They're deader than a doornail. 6 feet under. Ice cold. Yay. Okay. And the bell is tolling, so the spell is broken. But it's not a magical dress and glass slippers. It's pretty much Cinder having enough. And she has got the stepmom by the neck. She's got her off the ground. So Cinder's showing some strength here. But she is still shocking her as she's holding her. And she says, without you, I am nothing. But because of you, I am everything. So I wonder if she's saying because of all she's went through, it's made her stronger, maybe. I don't know. But she's taking the shock. The shock is not affecting her.
It could also stand for because you, I am everything.
Yeah.
Well, because of you, and I'm sure others in the past before this, that is why she's just going to act off. She's going to build off this anger now. Yep. Instead of trying to better herself, this is just the route she's going. And it's referenced when he says something.
And she snaps the stepmother's neck. Hardcore. Yeah, she's dead. And, he witnessed this, and God, look how hopeful she looks. Look how relieved she looks. It's like...
But this is what he was trying to get her...
I know.
Trying to have her... Yeah, he could have done more, but this was what his goal was, to try to get her not to do.
Yeah, but the thing is, him constantly leaving...
Which he had no choice in.
I know, he had missions to go on, but it's just...
Not doing anything else didn't help. But...
Like, he could have called out the stepmom. He could have said something. I'm not saying the guy didn't care, but I just think he could have done more. I really do.
In Atlas, it might have been, looking at the type of people around and that we've seen even before, it's probably hard to say things depending on your placement because of how high class they are. You could be shunned from everywhere, so especially someone who's a huntsman, they wouldn't have work anymore.
Yeah.
So, depending on if they were part of something, they could easily lose a lot of their jobs.
Yeah.
So, I see it both ways. He could have done more, but also, what else could he have done without losing work himself?
Well, he could have done something. Because really, the background music of this should be "Let the Bodies Hit the Floor," because that's what's happening.
Yes, but like I said, that's the one thing though, is he was trying to. The first things he said to her, he was trying to prevent her from turning to this.
Well, I don't
training her.
Well, I don't care. I feel sorry for Cinder, so I'm becoming a Cinder simp. I'm telling you. But just after years of abuse,
I know, but she also, instead of trying to fix anything, she's just power.
Then he says that's all you'll ever do, and I mean
that's not wrong. That's
no,
exactly what she does.
And I mean him being a huntsman, like look how, like the look almost looks crazed in a way, but it's also kind of just she's so relieved, and like yeah, look, I just heartbreak. So yeah, him being a huntsman, he's got but yeah, that turns automatically into anger. Like I hate to say it, but this is the Cinder we know right here. This look, it's kind of scary how she goes from hopeful to heartbroken to angry, just like that. So yeah, a new song, and I believe there was a song here, right? And I think it was this one. This is actually credited to Casey's band, OK Goodnight. So that's awesome. So yeah, we have a nice little fight here go on. His weapons, they're pretty much like a couple of clubs. Pretty much a couple of clubs, and
they're also guns.
Yeah. There's a gun like right at the top of them. Though when he shoots them off, they kind of look like lasers in a way. So here's the thing. He's protecting his neck with his semblance. But she grabs a hold of it and she's able to still burn him through it. Because her semblance, it's not like Yang's, but like the kind of fire she uses, like she can
create with it.
Yes, and so it can burn through this metal. Because she can manipulate the metal with the fire. Because that's how she's able to make those weapons and all that. So yeah, he tosses her, and she grabs this bag of, I guess it's flour, and yeah, he's shooting at her, and she throws at him and creates a smoke screen pretty much, and she's able to slip by him, and she grabs his other sword. So now we have Cinder using her trademark double swords, and I mean they fight for a bit. She busts his aura. But he goes back on the offensive and busts her aura as well. So, okay, so right here he's kind of like, worried. Because he just busted her aura. So I'm sure he acts like he's worried. He reaches for her and
she just kills him.
Yeah, kills him straight away. Like just boom. Right through the gut. Just wow. And one last time he pats her on the head and he falls dead. And like at first she's not showing any remorse. And she finally takes the collar off and she looks to the moon. Now, we didn't notice, but it's left a scar. And a lot of people have pointed out that in all of her outfits, this scar is covered up.
Yeah.
So she looks to the moon. A tear runs down her face and she smiles hopefully. I'm not gonna lie, to me this is one of the most heartbreaking stories in RWBY, because it goes with the real life saying that evil is not born, it is created. A pit bull puppy is not born mean. People make pit bulls mean. Pit bulls are one of the most misunderstood dogs in the world. My sister had a pet bull. My nephew's got a pet bull. Those, Dixie was one of the most loving dogs ever, and Gable is too. Gable will hug you. He will put his paws on your shoulders and lay his head on your shoulder and hug you. Like, they're some of the most lovable dogs ever, but because people have mistreated them, they've got they've got this bad reputation where idiots in these states are banning them and all that. I'm sorry. Bad people are not born. They are created. And this is a poor girl who, since before she was 10 years old, was just abused, mistreated, and just felt like the only way she could get out was through violence, because violence begets violence. And it's just a sad tale. It really is. There's going to be people, there's going to be people in the fandom who think they know everything, saying that she didn't have it as bad as other characters.
Everybody's situation is different. You can't really compare one thing to another.
Yes, like there's nobody that would have went through this and not broke. So I have to say, I kind of wish there was room for Cinder to maybe grow as a character, but I think it's too late. I think she's
fallen too far into taking what she wants through and gaining more power, more and more power. After that moment, that was probably where there was no turning back for her. No.
So it seems like that whole thing was a dream, because Cinder wakes up after getting her butt kicked by Penny, and sees that we're back in the well. God, what a lovely room to wake up in. My gosh, you could just hang up some entrails here and maybe a picture of undying death in the other corner. It'll really spruce the place up, wouldn't it? Well, I mean, look at it. It looks like she's sleeping in a bedroom in hell.
Pretty much what it is.
Gosh, that bed does not look comfy whatsoever. So Emerald walks in, gosh, I was so worried. Like, golly, Emerald. But here's the thing I don't get about Cinder's treatment of Emerald. She's treating Emerald the same way that people have treated her. But they're, like, not everyone at all. But in reality, there have been some people who were abused who grew up to be abusers themselves. So that might kind of be what we're going with here. I don't know. There's also people who were abused who grew up to be serial killers. So,
well, the thing is it kind of makes sense with the power that, she just wants more power to grow, because she's never going to be told what to do again. So her in that place taking over and treating Emerald that way is her way of staying on top, that no one's going to affect me, no one's going to tell me what to do.
Yeah. So Emerald asks her how she's feeling, and Cinder's like, you brought me back here? That's what I was like, why, if you care about her, why would you take her back to Salem? But then again, where else were they going to go? I mean, really. And like, it seems like Cinder's got a soft look on her face right here, but I think it's bewilderment at first. And then it dawns on her where she is, and, well, she's not too happy. And Emerald, and like, she pulls her hand away, and, she's saying, we failed. Emerald's saying, you were hurt. I was just trying to, God, it's like, poor Emerald. That's all I can say. Because Emerald is just, I just don't know what else I can say. Then, of course, first time we've heard Mercury talk since Volume 6, I think. I think she's had enough hell. Besides, she went against our queen. Like, Mercury is falling more and more under Salem's thumb. Like, I mean, like, that was hinted in Volume 6. Because he said he feels like he knows exactly where he feels like he's where he's meant to be.
That's when that's also when I made the point that he's falling more, Emerald's falling the other direction. Like, she's seeing what's being done, and she doesn't like it. He's falling into place that he feels like, okay, well, this is my place. I can do this.
Yeah. I have to say, once again, I love Emerald's new outfit. I think it just looks so great on her. But yeah, she says Cinder's hunch was right, which, I mean, yeah, it was. Give her credit where credit is due. If we had had support, she's trying to make Mercury feel guilty because he didn't go along, but that's not going to work. Would you stop trying to protect her already? Then he states once again, she doesn't care about you. It's the same thing he stated in Volume 6. So he's kind of repeating himself at this point. Did his hairstyle change as well a little bit? It doesn't.
Maybe a little.
Doesn't look as spiky in the back as it used to be. And of course, like, at first I was kind of hoping she got mad because of what he said, but really I think she
wants everybody gone.
Yeah.
She wants to be alone.
Yeah, she says, both of you get out. I'll let you know when you're needed next. And Emerald's just heartbroken. And Mercury, quit looking at your nails. They're not that interesting. Yeah, about that. I'm not, like, pretty much he says Salem has a plan for him and he's not going to be taking orders from Cinder anymore. And
the look on her face, she's losing her power.
Yeah, and I wish...
Who she had under her power.
Yeah, I kind of wish it was for a different reason. I really wish it was like, Cinder actually maybe cares, but...
Yeah.
So yeah, this is pretty much Mercury turning his back on them. Says Salem wants them on the bridge, something big's about to happen. And it's hard to say what's going on with Cinder right here because the way she looks. She's looking away. She's not looking at either of them. What's going through her head? Could it really be that she's just sad that she's losing her power over her underlings? Which, she's not losing it over Emerald. But, Not
till Emerald wakes up.
Yeah, but of course Emerald walks away looking sad and Cinder's left alone. Okay, so, Oz is like... you don't have to keep getting the shit kicked out of you. You can let me handle it. His grudge is with me, but Oscar says no, if it's him, his body is going to be in even worse shape.
Yeah.
Which is true. And he says, he's going easy on me, I can tell. Osmond says he understands, but he's already done too much already. At least let me give you a break and try and get us out of here. Oscar shows one of the most brilliant ideas any character has shown recently. He says, we can't leave yet. This is our chance. And Osmond's like, maybe you've been pretty much you've been hit in the head way too many times. Salem knows she can't take on the whole world at once, so she doesn't. She has her followers work their way, sabotaging us from the inside out. Maybe we should do the same. He's like, well, good go. Like, Osmond is like, why didn't I think of that? He says, we certainly are similar, you and I. Like, really, Oz, did you have to throw that in? Maybe we have been presented with an opportunity. And of course, here comes Hazel. And Oscar's like, great. It's like he's gotten so used to getting his face knocked in that he's just like, oh, well, here we go again. And then, Hazel tries to tell him, you don't have to go through this. Just tell me what we want to know. And, well, Ozpin goes against Oscar's wishes and takes back over. First time he's done that since Volume 6, early Volume 6. Well, was he didn't really technically take over at the end of Volume 7, did he? He just came back, right?
Yeah, he came back.
And Oscar was able to use some of his magic. Then, of course, that just sets Hazel off like an alarm clock. Calls him a coward. All this time it could have been you, but you let him suffer. I mean, dude, you're still the one who's been beating up a kid this whole entire time, so... You really can't turn the tides around that much. Tosses him, now tell us how this damned lamp works. The boy has suffered enough. And so Osmond's like, why do you follow her? In which Hazel Spartan kicks him pretty much. I know how you see me, but look at what she does. How is she the answer? Why not stop her? And Hazel shows a little hesitation. But he's like, she can't be stopped. She's a force of nature. I've seen it firsthand, but you send children to their deaths for a cause that has no victory, no end. And Osmond says, someone has to try. Salem isn't a force of nature because Salem can be fought. Which, yeah, you can't fight nature. So she's definitely not that. Unless she brings the relics together, if that happens, and Hazel does start to show a little bit of doubt. But before Ozpin can finish, the way she says Ozma here, it's like hell frozen over, and it would be like the coldest cold you could think of. It's just spine tingling. You have wonderful timing, and just. Like, Salem is kind of attractive, but right here, she's just creepy. It's like, oh my God, what is she gonna do? because she says it's almost time. It's about time again. And then, of course, we switched, and this really dark music does not even describe it. And sitting on her throne with a serious look on her face, all of her little her good little puppy boy. Yeah, he just standing there like a good doggy. And all of her minions bowing down. Poor Oscar. Well, I guess he's still Ozpin at this point. Is there Tyrion, Cinder, Mercury. But what's funny is, for some reason, Emerald and Neo are off to the side. And at first, Emerald's head is down, but not Neo.
Neo's just like...
Neo's like, I'm not bowing my head. I'm not 100% in this thing yet. Which, by the time Salem walks over here, now Emerald's head is up. And look at Cinder. She's like kind of scared. She does kind of have a worried look on her face. And Salem says we have good news. Tyrion's heard from Watts. And look at Tyrion. He
puts his tail up.
Yeah, he's like a dog getting patted on the head. And so now they know that Watts pretty much fooled Ironwood into getting control over Penny. Salem calls her a puppet masquerading as the Winter Maiden, which is disgusting. But, yeah, so I suppose he remains useful after all. So in other words, she was like, Watts can rot. He got caught, So, speaking of which, and she turns to Cinder, and damn, wouldn't you know it, Cinder starts screaming, and her grim arm is like convulsing or whatever. And, Salem can control the grim, so she is literally doing...
It looks like she's like burning her.
Yeah, and she is literally doing the same thing to her that her stepmother did. And for a split second, just look, like I can't help it. She just looks so in pain. And for a split second, she has a flashback to her childhood. And of course, Emerald's worried. You chose to disobey my orders and you failed once again. There it was. Yeah, she has a quick little flashback to her childhood. It's like, what do they call it? Like trauma, almost. The trauma is causing her to remember. But then she says, it's all my fault. You've fought your whole life, unwavering for what you want. Now, I'm sorry, right? Like this look right here, this is probably the most vulnerable we've seen Cinder. Because of that backstory earlier, I feel for her right here. Right here, this look she's giving. It's just sympathetic in a way. And, she says, and here I am holding you back instead of lifting you up. I don't trust this.
No, she's pretty much... Because she realizes the information they had... She failed the mission, but it was something that if they would have taken control of that, they could have used that situation. So it looks like she's giving her the one chance to...
Yeah. So it says, you deserve so much more than I've given you. So I think this is like the corrupted fairy godmother part of Salem right here. Now, what's funny is the Hound comes up to Neo, and Neo's not having it.
No, I saw that exact. She goes, I don't want that.
Though I don't know what
Emerald's looking. The look on her face is like, oh
but
no.
I wonder, it's like it was sniffing them for some reason. It's what it looked like. Now she says she tells Cinder to go to Atlas and pretty much break Watts out. So here, Cinder's got her composure back, and he can lead you to the girl. So, to help them find Penny, whether you or my Hound get to her first. So it's almost like it was sniffing her. I don't know why. Maybe it's just how the animation looks. So she's sending both Cinder and the Hound to find Penny. Well, okay, maybe that's why she's having her, because they were around Penny. But will Penny have a scent?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's...
But here's the thing also, like, she had him smell the lamp.
Well, yeah, because it would have been on Oscar the
yes,
most.
but it's smelling all of them. Because any of them would have been near Penny.
Yeah, but the thing is, the lamp would have had Oscar's scent, because the lamp's an inanimate object, so he wouldn't have a scent. But since Penny is a robot, would she really have a scent to pass on? That's what I'm wondering.
Maybe it's the other way around, that Penny would have their scent on.
Oh, yeah, maybe. I didn't think of that. So Salem says, you'll finally have the Winter Maiden's power, and I will have my staff. And then I'm guessing it's Ozpin says, you'll only be helping her bring about the end.
Yeah.
For all of you, and Hazel just drops his face into the ground. Which it doesn't knock him out. He's still awake, and
no, but the look on Hazel's face isn't like we'd seen after, because we saw how he was starting to physically respond to what Oz was saying before Salem walked in, and that's why I noticed when he pushed him down to the ground, he just did he was doing what he's pretty much told.
Yeah. But
he didn't have the anger on his face, like the expression near his mouth and everything that he used to have. Yeah. It wasn't there. So, I don't think he's gonna completely deflect from her, but he's thinking about it now.
Yeah. Which she tells him to his face, "You're too late." Oh boy. And keep in mind, this is just chapter 6. We got 14 chapters this volume.
The thing is, she says, "Yeah, you're too late." Well, I think she maybe too late for Alice anyway.
Yeah. So.
Because at least the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Can now.
But they're not going to get there in time.
No, but they can prepare themselves though, even
So then we skip to pretty much the Aesops and Winter. Elm's talking about, did the hack just not work? So yes, they did in fact hack Penny. How do we even know we can trust Watts? Well, you can't. That's a dumb question. Vine says we have confirmed visual of her leaving Amity. She appeared to be malfunctioning. Now, I think on Winter's face is the look of, like, she's questioning things right now. I really think Winter is. I really hope Winter does the right thing in the end. Elm then says, this is why I don't trust technology. Now we're wasting our time searching for broken junk. And the moment she says that, Weiss snaps and says enough. Now, if we remember in Volume 7, Winter, I'm sorry.
Just like, wait a minute.
Like I said, it's late. And my zoomies are starting to stop. What did we learn in Volume 7? That her and Penny started to bond.
Yeah.
So Winter didn't like that. Them calling Penny junk. So, character growth for Winter. Plus, I really think, her hair being more down instead of that tight bun, it's a loose ponytail. I think that is symbolism of her starting to break away from that life of a soldier. Completely under Ironwood's rule. Plus, Winter is just lovely here. Your Atlas Elite act like it. It's pretty much, don't make me turn this car around.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I'll never forget, there was a game that Markiplier played, and it was literally called Don't Make Me Turn This Car Around. And the way he opened the video was like, don't make me turn this car around, you little bastards. It was pretty much a game where you're a parent trying to drive your kids home, and they're throwing food and pinching each other, and it's not a good game. It's anyway, that's my Markiplier story for the day. Then Marrow says that they're picking up an open comms broadcast. He's such a good boy. Okay. She says put it through, and it's Jean. They're back in, well, either they're back in range or they're far out enough to where they could pick them up. Who knows? But Jean is trying to warn everybody.
I think they're starting to come back into range because it was just really, it was crackly, but they were obviously getting somewhere. Like,
yeah, Jean is trying to warn everybody about the Grim River. And once again, I know we've mentioned this several times. Winter looks like she's wearing Mass Effect armor. She really does. Large mass of Grim is headed straight for Mantle. Please, anyone. Which Winter reacts to it.
Winter does. Harriet's the last one for the anger and her emotion to go away.
Yeah.
Because if you look when they were further back, it was Winter. We couldn't see Vine at first.
Yeah.
But Elm's eyes, when Harriet was still mad, her eyes widened too. Like.
Yep. So they find Yang, Jean, and Ren, who are all, like I said, they're all carpooling.
On that one bike, which we knew Yang was fixing.
Yeah. So she did fix the bike, and of course she's driving. And yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
You guys.
Yeah. Yang's not happy that that's who picked up their signal. So John asked them, hey, it's right there. Do you not see that? Look over there in that trench. Yeah. No? Okay. That's pretty much what happens. It's right there. He tries to explain, where's Penny? That's
just...
Yeah. Harriet is so... she is so looking through tunnel vision, it's not even funny.
Which, that fits with her, the story of what she's based off of, and that's why I've been saying that out of everybody, she will be the last to turn.
Well, I don't know. With what happens at the end of this episode, they might all turn at once.
Well, I meant like she's gonna be the last to. She'd be the last to really start seeing, because the others are all clearly, the only one we can't get a read on is Vine, though we have seen a little bit of emotion there. With some of the things that, like, Ironwood did, there was emotion there. Like, he was shocked, too. But Harriet's the only one. She's going to be the last one to come to realization.
But Sean's like, are you freaking serious? Are you kidding me? He's like, people are in danger, and she's singing the same song and dance. There are people in danger because you kids are acting selfish, and she doesn't get to finish because the ground starts rumbling. And we all know the ground rumbling is such a great sign. And Mantle starts shaking. The Grim are pretty much like, oh, Emma, finally. The stuff is going off. The whole place is shaking. It's like Armageddon, and the freaking Grim River explodes like a geyser.
Like, I thought the Grim River was going to be going to Mantle.
No.
We were wrong.
No,
it was going up under to where Atlas is.
So it could attack the shield.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's constantly hitting the shield because that is all that is protecting Atlas. And, yeah, dramatic music and everybody is just horrified. Like, really, it's not good. Look, I really hope next chapter, I hope Yang is, like, panicking. You know why? We'll get to that in a second. But this thing is just like a geyser, and the animation here is awesome. It looks like real water, like, in a way, and it's just, it is hitting the shield, and I don't think it's exactly trying to attack it because it lets out all of those centipede-like Grim, and what they start doing is they start tunneling into Atlas to take out the shields. So, yeah. So here we see Weiss, who is watching over Nora, and boy, there are a lot of people who are starting to ship Weiss and Nora because of this. Like, big time. So Nora is still out. She has still not woke up. I'm really worried for Nora. But, she's seeing what's happening, and then Ruby, May, and Blake are all watching what's happening. This is why I think Yang should be panicking, because her sister and her love interest are at ground zero pretty much. Like, she's down there, they're up there where this whole thing is happening. Like, they're not safe.
Yeah.
So this is going to be the worst mid-season hiatus ever. Like, we're going to have to go 6 weeks of waiting, and I have a feeling they're going to leave us off with the worst cliffhanger in the world. I kind of think it's funny that RWBY doesn't have much of a reaction here. She's just like, and Blake, I've never seen Blake do that kind of pose before. I don't think I've ever seen her do that. Once again, Blake's hair looks so much better. And look who else is panicking. Yeah,
your plans are working.
Yeah, your way of doing things worked really well.
He's gonna realize it. I know he will realize it. It'll be too late.
Yeah.
Like, for him, it's...
So, yeah, these centipedes are going to every single shield generator to get rid of the shield, which they do succeed in killing one of them, but they dig in and they...
knock down one of the towers.
Yeah, and the shield is gone. So, I'm sorry, whoever designed these shields, whose idea was it to make it to where if one goes down, the whole thing goes down?
It's like Christmas lights. One go out, they all go out.
Yeah, like who the...
At least the old Christmas lights. One goes out, they all go out.
So, yeah, that, and they're all just standing there watching in horror. Like,
there's nothing they can do at this point.
Something
like that happen.
I will go ahead and admit, Yang does look like the most horrified out of all of them. Like, she really does. Yeah, maybe it's because her sister and girlfriend are up there. You would think. Come on, Ren. Show a little bit more emotion there, buddy. You know, for once, Vine actually...
He looks horrified.
Yeah. Where'd it go? Yeah.
He's horrified.
Yeah. Finally.
Elm, first, it's always been Marrow that showed the emotion, and then we started seeing Elm show it.
Yeah.
And now Vine's showing it. So, there's one left.
I really don't know what this shot of RWBY is supposed to be, because RWBY just looks like somebody spilt her milk. Like, I'm sorry, you just think she would look a little bit worried. I know exactly what she's thinking. Damn, I'm gonna be so tired after using my eyes on all these Grimm. That's exactly what she's thinking. I'm gonna need a whole plate of cookies after this. Now, I could have... Is it just because it gets really close up on her, or does Salem's eyes... Do they get redder?
They have a glow to them.
Okay, because as soon as she says it's time, it's like her eyes get way more redder. So that might be her turning the switch on. And it does this little zoom out. And, well, the well pretty much beaches itself. I hope that's free parking, because that's a beached well, all right. It's gonna take a lot of dynamite to blow that well up. But that's not even the worst part.
It lets more Grimm out.
Yeah. And look at here. See if I can stop on it. Damn it. Look at here. Our old buddy the Apathy is back. It's right there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is I know that, like, there's not really been...
And
Mantle's the one that deals with Grimm. Atlas itself has not had Grimm. Yeah. So, have fun, Ironwood.
Yeah, and it's pretty much a Grimm apocalypse, and that's the end of the episode. So...
Whereas Mantle, yeah, they're still dealing with Grimm, but now all the focus is all the Grimm is going through that river up to Atlas. So this is just chapter 6. We got 7 more to go. This is going to be worse than volume 3. So everybody, prepare to cry. Prepare to be heartbroken. Prepare to be shocked. No characters are safe besides the main 4. There's nothing going to happen to the main 4. But no other characters are safe. So, yeah. Ain't that some shit? They need to start. One thing is everybody, where they evacuated everybody in Mantle, they need to start taking them into the tunnels.
Yeah, because if
there's
Atlas falls,
no other way
them.
For them to get away, so they need to go under the tunnels.
But,
which they had mentioned before in past, and also, like, they've been preparing the tunnels. to get them somewhere. They just needed everybody to be evacuated into one place. So they need to start moving, and I think that's probably what's going to happen. Now, as for the people on Atlas, I can't really say much for them.
So, what's going to happen next volume? I wish we would see them reunite before the hiatus, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be Chapter 8, because it's episode 100. I think they'll tease it. What I hope happens is Winter and the Aesops, you know, give Yang, John, and Ren a break and give them a lift up to Atlas so they can help. I mean, you would think that's what they would do. We don't know where Pietro and Maria are. For all we know, they're still floating up in the atmosphere, still slowly coming down. Ooh, what if, like, it's gonna be funny. What if they get a hold of them and be like, land that thing on top of the whale? That'd be, hey, to get rid of it, that'd be funny. That'd be one heck of a Christmas present for Salem. Give her Amity Arena. But, yeah, I don't know.
No, communication, because then she'd find a way to get it up with her, with whatever she can, if she ever got the staff or anything, and then she'd have communication to the damn world.
Yeah, but if you get rid of the big whale Grim, she's stuck up there, so...
She'd find a way to float her ass up into Amity.
Who knows? But, yeah, it's hard to say what's going to happen in Chapter 7. It's going to be a long wait till Saturday, and then after that, we're SOL till February. But, yeah, I hope that's what happens. I hope we at least get close to a reunion by having Yang, Ren, and Jean be brought up to Atlas by Winter and them, because at this point, if they're going to still try and bring them in, Winter and them are stupid. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. They need to work together. Like,
yeah, and they know the other ones are up there. So.
Yeah, so hopefully that'll happen. I know I got a little loopy earlier in this, but, like, Cinder's backstory, it just... I don't know. It's not like I'm not going to feel sorry for Cinder, I guess, whatever happens to her, but that backstory was heartbreaking. It just really was. But great episode. Really well written. Carrie's the one that wrote this episode. My gosh, he killed us all. But, yeah, I can't believe we're this early in the volume and things are this dire. It's like the end of days for Atlas. So, we'll just see what happens.
I think just, like, now that since we're so early still in it, and since we know it takes place over the course of just a matter of days.
2 days. This is pretty much the morning of day 2.
And, so this is probably going to be pretty much Atlas in the fall and the aftermath.
Maybe. Like, there's still part of me, like, thinks what they're going to do is in the finale, we're going to start to see Atlas come down, and then they'll end it, and we'll have to wait till Volume 9 to see the aftermath of it falling.
Well, I mean, the aftermath plans of where they're gonna have to head next. Like,
well, you know, if you remember, they only went to Atlas because that's where Oz said to take the lamp. That doesn't automatically mean they're going to go straight to Vacuo after this.
No, I know that.
There's a lot of people thinking, I think Kaito Dan and Kalaxon also think that we may not be going to Vacuo right away.
I don't think we are, but we need to go somewhere else before, after Atlas. So yeah. Once things start coming down, they're going to have to head somewhere.
Yep. Well, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you found it entertaining. I know she did. She laughed at... I got you tickled how many times? I was full of it tonight.
Yeah.
Well, this episode got me fired up. Anyway, hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit that like button. Likes help a lot. And leave us a comment. Give us your thoughts. I try and respond to every comment that... but if I don't get to your comments, it's because I've got a lot of other things I'm doing. But we try to. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm Kanan.
I'm Jessie.
We love you all very, very much. Stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. I'm sorry, I about left you out. It's late. I am sorry. And I promise I've not been drinking or anything. And well, you almost dropped your phone. And we will see. Let's get out of here before one of us breaks something or I say something stupid. And we will see you guys in the next one. Almost lost my voice. Bye.
Bye.